Okay, well, hello everyone, and happy new year to you all. I think it's probably one of the last days I can say that still as we get into 2024. But welcome back for those of you who have joined before. And for those of you who are new, my name is Lisa Carnes. I'm going to get things kicked off here today. So I am excited to have one of our technical account managers, Trent, help us with learning more about Sumo Logic logging. Today, he's going to be focusing on dashboards specifically. And actually, for those of you who are new to attending, just a quick recap. We started this customer brown bag series in April of last year, and we have them monthly on every second, third, and fourth Tuesday of the month, each with a specific focus. And they are designed to be an intimate setting for our customers to have some time with one of our technical experts on a specific technical topic. And so that's what we're here to do today. Like I said, Trent is going to be focusing on dashboards. I have opened up the chat for everyone. So if you have a question, please feel free to pop it in the chat. If you'd like Trent to re-review something or something doesn't make sense, please let us know and we can make sure everyone understands what's going on. So without further ado, I'll pass it over to you, Trent.
Awesome. Let me share my screen real quick. Okay, cool. I guess quick intro. My name is Trent Dreisler. I'm a TAM technical account manager. I've been here for about a year and a half with Sumo. That's quick and easy. Jumping right into it. In order to really build out dashboards, it all kind of starts with a query, or a search, basically, in Sumo Logic. And we're gonna kind of go over the syntax of that search that you'll build out. So a lot of it's kind of the Sumo Logic search query uses logical and familiar operators, allowing you to create an ad hoc queries quickly and efficiently. Our search syntax is based on a funnel or like a pipe concept, where the wide mouth of the funnel begins with all of your current Sumo Logic data, and it narrows down by entering keywords and operators separated by pipes, each line. Each operator acts on the results from the previous operator so that you can progressively filter and pinpoint your search until you find exactly what you're looking for. This is just a good example of what that looks like. Going down the line of operators that you see here that are kind of meant to build out a search. The parse operator is also called the parse anchor. It parses strings according to specific start and stop anchors, and then labels them as fields for use in subsequent aggregation functions in the queries such as sorting, grouping, and other functions. The parse regex operator, also called an exact operator, enables users comfortable with regular expression syntax to extract more complex data from log lines. This can be used to extract nested fields. And then there's all the other parse operators. The CSV operator allows you to parse CSVs. JSON allows you to extract values from JSON logs. Typically, log files contain information that follow a key value pair structure. The key value operator allows you to get values from the log messages by specifying the key pairs for each value. And then there's things like split, and the XML operators kind of let you split up space or comma delimited, or the XML is the same thing. It kind of lets you parse out fields from a XML file. Sorry, I just want to get the chat window up.
Trent, is that parse operators? Is that just from our doc hub, the link?
Yeah, the link there is from our doc hub, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna put it in the chat for everyone.
There'll be a few of them too, I think, yeah.
Okay.
couple.
Keeping me on my toes.
Further filter results using some of the fields. The search filter operator processes data into meaningful and conditional ways and provides logic to queries. So as you kind of get the data you want, now you can kind of do like Boolean uh filters on it. The aggregating function evaluates messages and places them into groups. Only search results that have been aggregated using an aggregate operator can be placed on a dashboard panel. So that's like the caveat to this for this whole dashboarding is in order to create dashboards, you won't be able to use just a regular search. You will have to use an aggregate value in order to be able to place it on a panel for a dashboard. The formatting operator orders aggregated search results. The default sort order is descending. This can be flipped with the ascending operator. Then you can use the top or limit operator to reduce the number of sorted results returned. Order is also synonymous to sort. You can use them interchangeably in your queries. So you don't have to stick to sort. You can also use order as well. Demo time. So sorry. I went too far.
Oh, I added that slide in at the last minute. Sorry.
I'm gonna just move the chat window down a bit so I can see it. And hopefully you can see the environment.
Yep.
Sweet. Get rid of that. So in order to just kind of start building out dashboards, like I said, you got to be able to run a search. I'm just going to run a quick one, and I'm going to look at CloudTrail. I enjoy doing things for security purposes, and CloudTrail CloudWatch is great for finding out who's doing what. So you have all this data. One thing you could do is kind of go through here. If you don't know what you're looking for and you do get your logs ingested pretty clean in JSON format, you could go through here and find things like event user identity. You can get the user identity and the type. You can get user names. Then you can just go down here and right click and parse it out. And that parse outs the field for you. And then you can just hit it. And then it will bring out that field for you in a new column. You can do this for everything like that you're looking for. You just right click on the word source IP go. Right click on the field you want and parse it. You can also rename them. So you just, source IP, and then I'll just do this one as username. That'll bring them out in columns, and now your columns have your own aliased names as well. So you would eventually build out a query that could look painfully. Oh, didn't paste. That. One thing you could do is clean it all up by putting it all on one line, where you take the JSON filled raw values and you just start to comment them out. Sorry, comma. Get them all in one line, space them out by a comma. And because I like cooking shows, I'm just gonna bake the cake. So you have here is everything on one line instead of spaced out on its own line, and then you kind of name things afterwards. So as you list out your field name, you're going to alias it in order as well. So event name, event type, user identity, event type, and so on. Now we should be able to get usernames and everything all in its own column.
And Trent, is there a pros or cons to which way you build it out, whether it's on one line or in the separate lines?
There aren't, I just prefer to do it this way for readability. So it's up to kind of whoever's writing it. If you'd rather it be kind of spaced out on its own lines, and you find it to be easier to read, you could do it that way. If not, single lines are kind of just neater.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. Oh, I forgot this one. So one problem is that the actor field usernames are, they were supposed to be blank. Go 2 more powers back. Okay. I wasn't sure why we use no drop, but I'll get to that eventually. So if for some reason, like before, the usernames in this search, some of them were coming up blank. So if there was no value showing, then it would basically say that it wouldn't return a value. It would come up as no data to return. So you use the no drop to return the list of values being if it's blank or null as well. Let's see if maybe there are some null ones. Use the word clause to filter further. I'm going to see if there is a null actor like I thought there was. Oh, there are. Interesting. Okay. One thing you could do if you don't like having the blank space is you can always rename it. So you can use an if statement to rename if the actor is null, or you can name it as unknown, or just bring back the name of the actor. Now we have a bunch of unknowns. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Now we'll get everyone's, not just the unknowns. Easy ways to comment out lines of in your query. You can use the 2 forward slashes. You can highlight it, and on the Windows key, it's uh Control, I think, or Command. Can't quite remember. Just muscle memory. Or you can use the asterisk in the forward slashes is another way to comment out things as well. So now we have a bunch of names for reactors. You can do keyword searching with the where clause as well. So if you want to find things that are where the event type is root, where they're doing things that are on the root part of the system, you can use that key value in a where clause. You can also use it up here as well. So if you put an and root, maybe it's going to be, nope, don't want that one. Do an and root. Basically these two are where clauses. So you're gonna search here and filter out beforehand all the messages that are this where you see root in the log message. So it's actually faster if you do find that you're using where clauses to get out key values like this instead of having to get all this data and then use this operator to filter. You can actually add operators like this, the where when you're looking for a keyword, to the first line, and then it'll go into that source category. It'll look for all the messages that are root, and then it will start to do your parsings. So it'll do this and the JSON parsing, and then it will do the if clause. It'll look for the actors. I'll just come on to that. Should have the same value returned. We have 8131 and Interesting. I guess it's probably looking at other parts of the field, the log message that it shows root as well. So I'm just gonna remove that one. Like I said earlier, one thing that you do need is an aggregate to start to build out the dashboards and the panels. So I'll go ahead and add a count. I'm gonna do a count by the actors and event IDs and the event names. And then you get a list of how many times, the event name happened at the event type as well. Um, you can do things like if you want a more specific return of value and you don't want to see everything, you just want to see the top values, you can do a top 10, you can do a top any number you want, top 1 or top 100. And I'm going to see the actors, top 10 actors who have the most event IDs, event types. And this starts to get it a little more cleaned up, just seeing 10 values instead. And then if you wanted, you can even use a transpose to make it a little cleaner and push the values out to be separated into rows and columns. So now I have, instead of seeing the count part, I see just um, the actor and event type. So from here, we basically have our search query. Now you can kind of just build out the different dashboards that you want. And that's where you get these new visualizations. Sorry. So there's many of them, bar charts of all sorts, pies. You can find all sorts of different ones and play with them. I guess one thing I should show you as well before I get too far, is let's see, help.sumo. We have guides for our operators. So if you go into help.sumo.com, go into guides, and you go into log search, you can actually search for these amazing things called cheat sheets. And we have a great, the library that we have for everything on Sumo is vast. It's anything you think of using or doing in Sumo, we have a help doc page for it. But these cheat sheets are great. The log operators one is amazing because you can just kind of look through here. And the coolest part is we have a PDF version of it that you can download and save, and it's great to have on hand. So I'd recommend anyone who is getting into the query language or learning it, or if you know it and you just need a quick refresh on stuff, definitely grab that and have it on hand. So with this above search, we'll just go ahead and move into creating the dashboards now. There's a couple ways of doing it. So you have your query that you could just use by creating a new dashboard. And I'm just gonna go with categorical and paste my search and run it. And now we have the same dashboard, but now you've kind of created it from there. You can do the same thing by adding the panel to a dashboard. Title it, I'm just gonna name it a test. Let's do hi. So there are no dashboards named that yet. So you're always gonna get this option to create a new one if you don't have one already pre-made. But if you're adding it to one, then you can always just kind of search for it and add it to it just by clicking on it, and it'll give you that option. You can choose to inherit the range of the dashboard. So you're starting the range of the dashboard with this first panel. Or can you use a current time range? So the time range is going to be this 24 hours one. I'll just let it inherit. And then if I decide to add panels in the future, it'll just inherit that same 24 hours. And now I have a dashboard. I'm going to close out that one. Doesn't like. Okay. So once you have your dashboard, when you're creating it, you can even after it's done being created, go in and edit it. If you want it to be a time series or a honeycomb, you can change how the chart looks. There are a bunch of different types that we have here. For visibility reasons, I always like to kind of do an aggregate on a numeric one for like pie charts or the uh, columns. From here, you could do a lot of different things like change the color palette. You can change oh, the transparency of it. You can even change the inner diameter of the circle. You can make it uh, a lot wider or a lot smaller. And then you can change the maximum slices so it doesn't get too hideous. Because I mean, if you have a lot of different values that you're looking at, then it can get pretty crazy. Then you can always change the angle of it, which is an okay feature. Um, there's different things. You can change the font. One cool thing about doing things with the line chart is you can change the axes and enable. Oh, we'll get to that eventually. Sorry. So I'm going to update it. I'm going to change it back to a high though. Um, like most people, I feel like I live in dark mode for everything. If I can make it dark mode, I'll make it dark mode. But that definitely makes the colors better looking on the dashboards. Again, when you kind of get into the where the hates and go. When you start building them out, you can change it out if you want light or dark. One great thing about dashboards is you can do more than just filtering in the query. If you um, if you want to be able to kind of control the search after you're done creating the dashboard, you can actually filter on variables. And then for this, I'm actually going to need my search. Make it easy. I'm just going to copy this back out. So I'm going to create a filter so I can do further filtering on this. I want to filter on event type. Let's do a log search and paste that bad boy in. And I'm gonna do event type again. All right, I actually need this one.
How
Now,
come you did that one instead of the other one?
the other one, for the template variable, I only need to just pull out the variable that I needed. So it's just me running that, parsing out the field, and then I have to do a count and I have to aggregate it. And then to clean it up so I only get the event type, I just use the minus count to remove count. And now it'll give me the field key for event type. And it should populate on the side with all the event types.
So those are what will appear in the drop-down menu.
Correct. So now here's the drop down that lets me filter on the different user types. It doesn't work though, because there's something we need to do further. It doesn't filter because you do have to add the template variables to your panels query. So I'm gonna go ahead and add another one though. Let's go with actor. Oops, close that off. And select actor. There we go. I got that template variable too, again, because it's the internal query on the panel doesn't have the variable set, the parameters, it won't actually show. So go back into editing it, and I'm just gonna add the variables into it. So easiest way to do it is adding a where clause. And I'll go ahead and add it just in line with the rest of my wheres. And that's gonna be actor matches. And then to do a parameter or a variable in the query, you do have to use the curly braces, and that's going to be with two of them. And you just type in actor, and that's for that one. Matches. Oh, I forgot there is actually, you need the double quotes as well. And great. Let's do that. So now we have it for actor, and I'm gonna get the event type as well, so we can filter on the event type. Don't know why I didn't like it. Okay, but update that. Now it should take a second. For some reason, my search is not working. I'm gonna copy it out into a regular search to see if it does work. I do get the parameters. Let's go with quick search. We're looking at all the events last 15. So it works. Why is it not working in the panel? Actor event type event name. I think that was it. Because didn't like my first work clause. Let's go look at everyone who had some event tied to the root. So now we get that value. Sorry. Driving on. You can edit this. I'm actually going to do a horizontal one. And using the axes, you can do things like remove, you can get rid of the y-axis part of it where you do do not have the labels on the side. Down. You can also change the font of it too, if it is too small. Very obvious. So that's one way of kind of creating a dashboard. Another way is what I typically like to do is kind of go in and get pre-made dashboards from our actual applications that we have built in and ready to go. So that was a CloudTrail one. I'll see if I can find CloudTrail. Go and install that app. Oh, copy out that source category. And add to my personal. Should see it pop up when it's done. Cool. User monitoring. Kind of what we were just doing. So now we're able to see the same, very similar values with different dashboards. If you want to kind of test working on things that are geolocation operators or more of these filtering operators, it's easier to kind of hop into dashboards that you might be familiar with, that you like the way they look. Go in there, grab out the search, and then you just replace the source categories and the field types, because I'm sure they will be different. One cool thing about the dashboards is that you can share them. So sharing dashboards allow you to extend the insights that you gain from Sumo Logic with others within your organization. You can specify specific permissions for the user with whom you share the dashboards, as well as controlling the data that appears in the dashboard. You can only share dashboards that you own, though, or if you have permissions to manage. So I'm only able to share these ones because now they are ones that I own or created and have been given permission to manage. So as you share a dashboard with someone, you just go up here and hit share, or you can go to the right of it and hit share as well. I think I'm going to do it through this part. So in here, you can choose who you're going to share with. And that's where you kind of grant them permissions to view, edit, or manage. Giving them permission to manage does give them full control of it. They can share it out to whoever you want. Same thing, you can grant them view or cannot grant access. Once you do share it, you do have the ability to see who does have it. So as they continue to share it, you will see this list grow with people on it. Then you kind of control from there. If you do manage and own it, you can remove people from seeing the dashboard. Dashboards often have sensitive information, so you usually share them. And sensitive, I mean sensitive to your organization, where you do want to share them with people, or maybe sensitive to the fact that it's information that you need to share with somebody outside of your organization. So you usually share them only with people within your organization, but sometimes you may want to allow people outside of your organization to view a dashboard without logging in. For example, you can if your dashboard is displaying a monitor in your operations center, or if you want to send an external person a link to a dashboard that reveals a critical problem, then you can simply go to get a shareable URL, and you can go through creating a public dashboard, and that will allow you to share it out. You won't, this isn't inherently available depending on your role in your Sumo org. You will have to, let me just get this open. you will have to have certain permissions set up on your account. And that's going to be in your administration, security, and policies page on your account page. You need to enable the shared dashboards outside of the organization to be able to share dashboards outside of your organization. Um, thanks for providing all those links.
Of course.
Uh, there's an allow list. If you go to the link that Lisa provided, you can see more on it, but you'll have to provide allow lists for the role itself. If you want to add external users to the service allow list, again, it's there on that help doc, but you must provide an IP address or a site that is able to view dashboards without logging in. And there's further instructions on how to do that allow list as well. I think I'll provide that one. Um, I think that was it. Do we have any questions or anything regarding anything that you've seen so far? I have the
Um,
chat up. I don't have the QA up.
Real quick, Trent, did you go over app catalog?
I did.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yes, ma'am. Yep, hopping in.
Oh, there it is. Okay, you just went into CloudTrail real fast from there. Okay.
Sorry, yeah. I was doing a bunch of CloudTrail searches, so I figured I would just hop into a CloudTrail one. And
Okay, cool. Yeah, my bad.
no, no problem. Yeah, it just comes up with a bunch of really built out dashboards. It's clean and easy to use.
Awesome. Okay, yes. So back to the questions. We don't see any in the Q&A or the chat, but we can give everyone a minute or two. If you want to either raise your hand, I can take you off mute. You can type out your question. We are here to help.
There are operators that you guys have struggled with. There's, any dashboards that you've wanted to set up in the past. We have a great, large, vast, like huge library of videos on YouTube and in our learning environment. In here, you'll be able to see a lot of recorded trainings. They're free. And if you ever do join in one of our cert jams, you will get the logins, which is the training accounts. They do change between if you're going to be logging in as an admin or an analyst based on the trainings, but you can redo all these cert jams over and over. It's nice and easy to take a self-paced one, hop into the cert jam, and then go ahead and get the cert right afterwards. And it's all zero cost and easy to do. Oh, there's the actual passwords there. So for the fundamental search, cloud security, Kubernetes, that's actually the email and passwords, and then same thing for the admin and metrics. So if you screenshot this fast enough, you could possibly get into some training.
And we change the password monthly. So if the one you use isn't working, just go back to this page and the new one should be there.
Yeah. And if you do have a contact, customer success manager, or account manager, or a technical account manager, then you can reach out to us and we'll provide these things to you guys pretty quickly.
Awesome. Okay. No questions from anyone? Oh, wait, hold on. There we go. How do I get to app catalog in Sumo?
Yep. App catalog is going to be on your left pane here in Sumo Logic. Down here, the app catalog.
Good question. Thanks, Samuel. Any other questions? Can you talk about the database monitoring system?
Would you be able to speak more about the database monitoring system? Or do I get a list of all sources categories?
Oh, no, that's a separate question.
Hmm.
Um, Ashwin, can you explain a little more, or I can take you off of mute as well? Like Azure, database monitoring system like Azure.
Well, so you would typically you would set up the source. You can create the source categories from your catalog and collection. From there, well, there's a lot of sources. Oh, the training environment won't let me do it. The from there you can add collectors, name it, and then add the sources for the Azure one. And then you'd have to choose. So if you go back in the app catalog, I'm sure there's an Azure one. Hmm, I'll do MySQL, but nope. Um, Once you get the data in, there's a lot of different things you could do for monitoring that. You could set up the actual metrics for monitoring the health of the databases. And kind of just the all around infrastructure around it too. Does that kind of answer what you're asking for, Ashwin?
Yes. Awesome. Okay. And then another one, where do I get the list of all source categories?
See if I can do that here. Just I'll open a new search. So let's see if I have collection to do it. I don't have partitions. When you go into your collections or your logs, sorry, your partitions, you'll see that we have a lot of different partitions. Um, and if you enable your Sumo Logic audit logs, you'll be able to pull a lot of the logs for those kind of things. So it's not going to be, depending on how much data, pulling all of them could be, uh, it could take a while to get all of those back. Okay, equals all. Oh, sorry. You can run a simple search of just running search category equals all. Again, and it could be bad to do that if you're gonna run a search like that and you have a lot of data in the infrequent tier. It does kind of cost credits to run a search against the infrequent tier. So you got to be kind of cautious when running searches that are just so fast. So that will give you a list of all your source categories. Is that what you're looking for, Santosh? Or are you looking for something a little different? With Sumo doing queries and things, there is definitely more than one way to skin a cat.
Okay. And then we have another one. Yesterday we met with our account team for a health check and they introduced index. Would it be possible to go over that?
Sure. So the index is going to be back in the partitions where you have these. The partitions now are named indexes. So as you create a partition, the data that's being stored in there is being stored within the index. So as I opened up the Sumo default, if you don't do a processing or a field extraction rule to kind of force the data into a partition, it will go to the Sumo default. So that's what I did was I opened up the Sumo default and it brought up all, oh, close out of it. Let me just clear up some of this stuff. So yeah, opening up the Sumo default, it will bring up everything that's in that partition, and then you can begin to filter from there as well. Does that explain what an index is? You need anything else?
Yes, thank you.
Of course.
Great questions, everyone. Any other questions?
We do have 12 minutes. I'm happy to sit here and answer as many questions as you might have.
Let's just give it one more minute in case anyone's typing something right now.
Do we have anyone who does not use Sumo yet, or maybe is going to be starting to use Sumo soon? New customer?
So querying costs are credit. Only if you are using the infrequent tier.
Gotcha.
All other tiers are included. And most plans are already on a plan that includes the querying. So what you could do, Dong, is get with your Sumo Logic account manager just to find out what your contract includes, and then that way you can make sure. But usually, I'm a customer success manager, and so if we do have a customer using the infrequent tier, we are very aware. It's a mutual awareness. And so we normally, you would probably know if you were using the infrequent tier. I'll just put it that way. But as a backup, though, I can definitely follow up for you on our end as well, just to make sure. Cool. Thumbs up. Got it. Okay. Another question. For example, if someone edits a user's expiration date, can we parse out fields that have this field that was edited? I've struggled with parsing data with specific characters. Oh,
Yeah,
wait, sorry, there was a first question before that.
yeah. It's a follow-up to that one.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. Would it be possible to go over parsing through OS Windows logs and aggregating to get expiration date?
It is. I don't think we have Windows logs in here. Um, no, we have Kubernetes. I don't think they're gonna, those are all metrics. Let's see. Let's just no Windows events. Booyah. I don't think I'll be able to search it and do it all fast enough. Pretty sure I saw. Oh, none. Windows events. That has none. Um, let's use the demo data. Guard duty. Linux. Windows. Hmm. Nothing more fun than poking around someone else's data. All right. Let's just see if I can do this quickly. Expire. Nothing. They did not bring these in nicely. So one easy way to do it, if you can't get the actual expiration date out, so kind of like what I was doing here on this side where the JSON formatted logs, they came in like this, and you can kind of find the actual expiration date and just parse it out. That will actually bring out that field, and then you can parse it out. If you don't, then you kind of get into the regular expressions. And Regex 101 is a great site for that, where you just grab a copy of the log and paste it into the field that you're searching in, and then you kind of build out your regex search on that, and then just kind of paste in the regular expression after that. Assuming that you brought your logs in formatted nicely, even if it's not, you can use um, you can use a parser afterwards to get the fields out that you want to. Um, but yeah, if you can't find them within the log, then you might have to actually run a regular expression to kind of look for expiration dates, especially if they change like length and stuff like that. Your name is anonymous, but I mean, feel free to email me if you have any issues, or our support team is also great.
They said, got it. Thank you. Okay, great questions, everyone. Last call for any more? Okay. Trent, can you do me a favor and go to the last slide just so I can show next week's class? Okay, so next week we have one of our principal product managers, Chris. He will be covering our MITRE ATT&CK Coverage Explorer, which is a part of our security offering here at Sumo. So if you have not yet registered for that, actually, let me make it easy for you and put the registration in the chat. In case your company is using Sumo Logic from a security perspective, or if you're not, it's still really fun to learn, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can give a preview of it.
No, it's okay. I don't want to keep people longer. People probably got to go to the bathroom and stuff. But if it's easy, were you just going to show something?
Yeah, I was gonna just pop in and show the actual dashboard because it's a great.
Oh, there
We
you
have
go.
what you have is like the MITRE ATT&CK coverage on the actual website. It shows you the different columns and everything, and we have it built into Sumo. So it kind of goes off of. I guess I'll have to find out if our training environment has it. It's a lot of zeros because we don't have a lot of data in it, but it kind of shows you what your environment's seeing. And then it goes into the, community and theoretical based off of what your org has and off of what the Sumo customer base has as well. But it's amazing. You can actually export this and put it into the actual MITRE ATT&CK. They'll go into it tomorrow, but
Or next week. Yeah.
next week. But it's a great tool.
Yeah, I forgot your security is your thing.
Yeah. If
You
I had
just
known
got
MITRE
real
ATT&CK was going to be the
excited.
next one, I would have done it.
Nice. Well, thank you, Trent. And thank you, everyone, for taking the time out to join us. We will see you next week.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.